some big boundary mistakes that you may be making because boundaries can be tricky and challenging. And they're the same ones that I used to make that I also see my clients make. So, boundaries are so important to your life and your identity and knowing what you will and not tolerate. They're very essential to have in your life. They're not negotiable. You absolutely have to have them. And people who tend to be too nice, people pleasy, and put other people first, they're kind of too giving, end up having a problem with boundaries because it's very challenging to say no when you want to give and you're putting other people first. But this is a huge deal. If we're not open and clear with other people on where we stand on important things, we're going to get walked over, not get respect, and not get what we want because we're not able to speak up. So it's very, very important. And they're also essential to knowing who we are and what we will and won't tolerate, and also our own self respect. So they are truly, truly vital. Like I said, boundaries aren't something that you want to be soft on because you'll end up regretting it. We need to put our own mental and emotional well being first and our safety first above others. And when we can do this, our self respect will skyrocket, we'll start feeling better, and we'll start getting the respect and the treatment that we deserve. The number one issue that people who are too nice, people pleasing, and put other people first and tend to be selfless and giving types of people, okay? They have a problem with focusing on others. They focus on others too much. So, when you're focusing on others so much, you're hiding and your focus is taking care of them and making them happy. So, how the heck can you know what your boundaries are because you're not focused on yourself? It's a lot easier and safer to hide because you don't have to risk being disapproved of, rejection, or not liked because you're hiding. Okay? And it takes lots of practice to be able to turn your focus from others onto yourself, but it is essential in actually setting and maintaining your boundaries. Okay? Number two is using boundaries to control others. Boundaries are not there to control other people. Boundaries are there for your mental and emotional well being and for your safety. They are not there to make others do what you want them to do. You're not like a puppet master, okay? Boundaries are there. Okay, they're a compilation of your yeses and nos. It's where you end and someone else begins. Okay, boundaries are there to protect yourself. Okay, because your comfort, your happiness, your wants, your needs matter. So this is how we protect those and safeguard those. If you guys are liking this, and hit that thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments. Mistake number three for boundaries is thinking boundaries aren't working because other people aren't doing what you want them to do. If other people aren't respecting the boundary, does it mean it doesn't work? No. It works if you set the boundary and you hold the boundary. That's how it works. If it protects your mental and emotional well being and your safety, then it works. Success. But people aren't going to like the boundary. You're taking something away from them. And this is why it's so important that when you set boundaries, that you're doing it with empathy, that you're caring how it's going to affect the other person. Because chances are you've been like this for your whole life and you struggle with saying no to others and setting limits. So no one's going to like when you tell them no. It's the tiniest word, but it seems like the hardest word to say. No one's going to like that. So it's important that we do it with empathy. We do it with love. We do it from kindness. We're not doing this, hey, you need to do what I'm telling you to do because this is respectful and you shouldn't treat me like that. It's like, okay, well, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And I don't tolerate this. And if you do that, I'm going to do this. You're just being honest, straightforward. And there's no need to feel like weird or awkward or icky because you have rights and the things you need and things you want matter. So you have to really get more secure and confident in your body. If you stick to it and you hold that boundary, then it's a success. It doesn't matter what the other person's reaction, what they do. Okay. And actually, when you tell them no, it's going to make it very clear what they think and feel about you. Okay. Especially if you've never said no to this person, their reaction, they may not like it at first, but if they're supportive, that's obviously good. But if they freak out, they try to make you feel bad about yourself, they guilt you, you get the whole, but look what all I'm doing for you. Okay, then this person may not be as good of a partner as a friend as I previously thought. Like it helps you see people clear. It amplifies who people are when you say no to them. Okay. Number 4 boundary mistake is wanting others to agree with you and approve of your boundary. You don't need someone else's permission, approval to agree with your boundary. The boundaries have everything to do with you and nothing with anyone else. This is how we navigate the world in a safe way, taking care of ourselves and interacting with other people. But we don't need a high five or a thumbs up. Chances are, if you haven't spoken up and said, I don't like this, please stop doing this, if you've never set a boundary with someone before, they're not going to like it simply because you've trained them to take and take and take and put you last because that's how you're treating yourself. So when you want to start working on your boundaries, I highly suggest that you up your treatment of how you're treating yourself so you can get this confidence and security in yourself that you truly are deserving good treatment because you're treating yourself well. Others are going to have their own opinions and they're not going to like or approve of your boundary. So what? You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. You don't need their validation. Boundaries are for you. That's the biggest takeaway I want you to get from this is boundaries are for you. Number 5 boundary mistake is putting other people first. Why is this a boundary mistake? Because you have to know what yours are. How can you know what your boundaries are if you're always focused on other people and taking care of their wants and needs and trying to make them happy? You can't. You have to start valuing yourself more in order to do this. You have to courageously and fiercely protect your own well-being, comfort, and safety. Boundaries aren't negotiable. When we start putting ourselves first, we start noticing what things are really important to us. Where do we stand on certain issues? What things will we never tolerate? And what things do we want? And we start communicating those things clearly and directly with others. And it's simply saying, I like this, I don't like this, this is what I want. And then, well, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I don't like smoking. It affects my allergies. Please don't, or I'll have to leave. Or I would really like us to be closer friends. Can we go out to eat once a week? That would feel amazing. I would love that. You see, we're communicating what we want and what we need, not in a pleady way. You're not pleading them. You're not begging them. You're valuing yourself, and you have to know that you deserve good treatment and you deserve to get what you want and what you need because relationships are about reciprocity. They're supposed to be give and take. If there's not give and take, then that's a boundary thing. That's a boundary on you because that's something you have to require. But healthy relationships are about give and take. We have to make the adjustment from putting others first and their needs and wants and happiness above ours to our needs, wants, and happiness are just as important and at times more important than others. Okay. And this may seem like if you're a giver and a pleaser and a helper and you're like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do that. You got to have boundaries. All right, guys, I would love to hear what you think. Please let me know in the comments which one really resonated with you and maybe which one that you're struggling with. And I also have a podcast. It's pretty awesome. Check it out. It's called Becoming Badass. And if you haven't already checked out my Stop Being Nice video, I would suggest you watch that because people who tend to put other people first, are giving and pleasing, have a problem with being too nice. So it'll definitely enlighten you. If you have any questions or anything you're struggling with, please let me know in the comments. All right, have an amazing night.